What's up, AOTH podcast family? It's your boy DQ, and you know what time it is. It is Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is time for the Affairs of the Heart live podcast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Come on in the room. Come on in. Come on in. We have a great show for you tonight. As of course, So Debonair is here. Easy Said, Easy Done is here. And as you can see, the stimmy has hit So Debonair's account back because he got this new hair, honey. Yes. The stimmy has hit.
I knew that's what you was going to say. He was about to go.
Butch Queens, take off your pumps, get your drinks. So Debonair is here and he is ready to slay with this stimmy hair. Yeah.
New dude, who you?
Who is you with these new dudes? Bitch, I wish I could get a stimmy wig. Lord. Easy Said, Easy Done. What's going on?
Baby, I'm glad to be alive. Glad to be here. Blessed with another day.
I'm just so glad to be here. I'm just
I am, like you gotta count your blessings. I was able to wake up this morning, bills is paid, my beard connects. Like I can't,
my beard connects.
Some people ain't that fortunate.
It took me a long time.
Listen, we are glad that we are here. It's Thursday. And we do. We had to start a little bit late because two of the three of us are on Facebook probation. They're all about that jail time life on Facebook. So they're repping their gangs in Facebook jail, counting down the hours until they can come out and see the sunshine.
I just want to thank everybody for putting the money on my books and the prayers and the visitations on Twitter and Instagram. I really appreciated it.
Putting money on your book.
Yes.
I like it when they I'll get like a message, because you can still get messages. You can still get the inbox messages. And it's just like, they were like, oh, you haven't posted in a while. Are you back in Facebook jail? Yeah, I'm back in Facebook jail. I was like, my bad. They was like, you ain't posted in a couple of days. You good? You all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. Just a little jail time.
My mom was like, are you in Facebook jail again?
Listen,
yes, Mom.
When your mother knows that you're in Facebook jail and what that means, listen, that's a problem. But we're glad to be here. We're glad that you all are out on probation with your Facebook wristbands or your Facebook ankle bracelets, keeping a monitor of what you're doing and what you're saying. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, tread lightly.
It's Thursday. It's the Affairs of the Heart podcast. So we want you to make sure that you join in the conversation. Make sure you read the description. If you're joining us on Facebook, read the description. Look for the link to give Facebook permission to share your comments and your likeness. Otherwise, you will pop up as a Facebook user, and we don't know who you are to share your comments like thus and so. But that's not, Chef is here. We know Chef is here. Great. Awesome. Hello, all.
Okay.
NYC to be for me, come through Stimmy. Yeah. And Thomas, what's going on? Okay, for the beard, I feel you. Absolutely. When your beard connects, everything is right in the world. So
y'all see my little this on the side right here. It took a long time for me to get this to connect.
Mine doesn't do it over. It barely does it over here. So yeah,
you see how light it is? It's real light.
Mine came in full force. Like
we see. I be over here with the pen, like try to get it in. The life of facial hair. Listen, it's the worst. It's the worst. What's up to all of our YouTube channel followers and viewers? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that we know, or that rather, when we are live. We want to make sure we keep you guys up, and share it with a friend. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's go. Share the videos, share the conversations. Let's do it, because we all are and we trying to get stemmy hair like So Debonair. So listen. All right, gentlemen, are you ready for this week's topics?
As I'll ever be.
Sometimes we're not even ready, but we get there.
We have to get there. So let's start out with what we always do. Dear Heartbeats. I feel like should be some music that goes after that.
We gotta figure that out. We need to figure that out.
It should be like Dear Delilah. And she has all that music in the background.
I was like, all right. You remember Mad TV, that Lower Expectation thing?
Yeah.
I would love to have that before.
Lower Expectations. All right. So, Dear Affairs of the Heart, this person's name is Deshep, and forgive me if I pronounce that incorrectly, but it's D-S-H-E-P. So it's Deshep, maybe. I am 24 years old, and I'm not that sexually experienced, but I do have sexual desires. However, I am on these apps like Jacked and Grindr, and it's just hard to find dudes that interest me, who are not shady and won't just run up in me. Well, my goodness. I also don't want a relationship, but I do want someone who I can talk to from time to time and who can dig me out. But in North Florida, that just seems hard to find. What do you have any advice? Please help, in all capital letters. P.S. I think it would be dope if you had a show asking what Black gay men from other countries feel about dating and sex. I will say gay Caribbeans have much different views on dating than American guys. That is a very good suggestion, Deshep. That's a very good suggestion. However, let's go back to your letter. 24 years old, not that sexually experienced, but has sexual desires. He's on Jacked and Grindr, and it's hard to find dudes that interest him, that are not shady and won't run up in him. He also he doesn't want a relationship. He just wants someone to, keep him company from time to time, and who can dig him out. But in North Florida, that just seems to be hard to find.
Don't want someone to run up in you, but you want to get dug out. That's in the same. This letter is like MapQuest directions. It's just all over the place.
This is like using Waze.
Using Waze. Yes. I can't stand it. Okay, so guys, what do you think?
I'm trying to process right now. I think that my personal view on this. You're on Jacked and Grindr, so I'm not really sure what you're going to get besides people that want to run up in you. To me, personally, other people feel differently, but I don't feel like those are dating apps. But again, you don't want to date, so I don't really know how to guide this question. Because if you go over to the dating apps, then you're going to want, I guess, like the Jacked and Grindr people. Because you don't want a relationship, so I don't really know.
I feel like he wants a little bit of both, but he doesn't know exactly where he should be. Like a part of the letter seems like he wants to be in some type of situationship, but then he does. Okay, how about this? Hold on, I just everything I had in my mind just went out, and now I got something else. All right, how about we do this? How about as you get on these dating apps, whether it is Tinder, Grindr, Jack, whatever, Adam for Adam, there's a bio section on all of those things. You can clearly state exactly what you want, what you don't want, what you're looking for, what you're not. Because they, are the other people bios not looking for? I want a 6-foot bottom, or I want a 5'3" top. There's some specifications about what you want and what you don't want. So use that section to describe yourself and the things that you're looking for, and go from there. So whether it's
do those bios work on Jacked and Grindr though?
Look, now I'm not on those things, so I can't. But I'm just saying, there's a bio section for that information. Put yourself out there.
I'm kind of confused, honestly. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah,
really tried. I really tried to think of something good to say, but I don't think I have anything. I'm confused, honestly. I seriously am confused because it's like I want to be single, but I want to date, and I don't think there's like an app for that. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think he just should take it. I think he should just take advantage of what he has right now. There are plenty of apps out there, but you just have to specify your profile to exactly what you're looking for. I mean, yeah, I think that's your best option. And also, I think you should probably try to go out and actually meet people face to face. And I know it's going to be a little hard during COVID season, but I think you may have a better results if you are actually meeting people.
He's in Florida. They're open.
And North Florida at that.
If they're open. They're like
Atlanta. Yeah, so yeah.
He can go out. They do have a new app called 3Fun. I don't know if that they help you out. But it's for people.
You said
3Fun. And it's for people who want to have like threesomes, and basically people want to have a temporary enjoy someone's time.
He got enough going on in the letter he got. Let's just keep it at 2.
I mean, but everybody on there doesn't are not in like are coupled up, or they just want to have some type of situation. I mean, it's confusing like the letter to me. So I'm just trying to help. I don't know.
You're not going to put him in another confusing situation, so we can get a part 2 weeks from now, and then we still sitting here stuck.
So
I think the best thing that you probably said was probably just go out and meet someone, because I think saying that to someone in person works better than the apps. I think the apps that you're on are sex sites. I mean, they're going to run up in you and they're going to be out. So that's what you're going to get.
So, okay. I think I agree with both of you in different aspects. I agree with Easy for sure. Make sure your bio is completely detailed with you all right, E? You
I had to stop show production. Something caught me out of my peripheral. It was a spider, and it had to be handled.
You bet, because you said we'll be right back after these messages. And click guys, I was like, what?
It was like, please hold.
Please hold. Yes. You all right?
Look, it was just one of those situations where it's just like, if I don't get you now, I don't know where you're gonna go, and I don't know if I can.
And you be up all night like this, trying to figure out where that spider went, just rocking.
Exactly. It ain't gonna happen.
So to our writer, 2 things. You have to decide. You're 24 years old. You have to decide what you want. Honestly, you have to decide if you want somebody to run up in you or you want somebody to dig you out. Isn't that
the same thing?
Listen, I think it's the same thing. We think it's the same thing, but these are two different descriptions that he's given in this letter. So I would say
he's 24. I'm 34. So this,
Okay, so let me try to decide. I think running up in you is like they have sex with you and then they're out, but he wants to get dug out like he wants to on a consistent basis. So maybe that's what he's saying. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying here.
Because both of us were
really trying. Run up in you sounds like some temporary thing, maybe like a bang, 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 and dig you out. Means like they're kind of passionate about it. Maybe I don't know.
Or this. How about maybe he's afraid of just being dogged out, like a top not having respect for his hole. And since he's not that sexually, doesn't have that much experience within the sexual department, he's afraid of that happening. That could be, because you can get dug out in the right way,
right?
And still wake up in the next morning and be able to walk to your Uber fine. But Dwayne,
the narratives are
Okay.
so vast.
We're just trying to give him some possibilities here.
I don't know what's going on.
The narratives are, there's so many.
Maybe that's it. That's what I want. That's what I want to go with. I'm thinking 24, not that sexually experienced. He's afraid of just being maybe sexually hurt.
Oh, yeah, and I think that's important. 24 and not sexually experienced. That's important.
Yeah, I think I had to go back. I think I had to go back. So maybe
but I was like, that's important. Like I didn't just read the letter twice to tell you.
But I mean, I don't think I heard. Like I don't think I processed that part at first.
Yeah,
so that is important. That's important.
Yes, he's 24.
So he doesn't know. But
no.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but.
And first of all, if you are ever in that type of situation, get your ass up and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're not respecting your hole, get your ass up and leave.
Because we have made up our own interpretation of this at this point.
Yeah, don't let nobody disrespect your hole like that. You the one that got to sit on that thing later on during the day.
That's true.
All right, you can either go home and sit on the couch and enjoy the rest of the TV day, or you go home and sit in the bathtub full of Epsom salt. You can choose. Okay, don't let nobody disrespect your hole.
I think we need a new segment with Easy called "Hole Respect," because clearly
respect that hole.
Respect that hole.
Respect that hole. Don't put yourself in that type of pain, sir. No. And if you're not that sexually experienced, you're gonna end up with a hemorrhoid.
Baby, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you have to go see a anal doctor for any reason, it is not always the best situation. So please make sure you're not allowing people to do just what they want to do with it, because getting it back to its original state is harder than dealing with, the fact that you just embarrassed him and told him to get the hell off of you. So, North Florida,
learn from this.
Yes, there were a lot of little gems that were given.
Yes,
pick them up. In your pocket.
His PS was a great idea. I think that we do need to hear from other men in the community that are of, from different countries and different backgrounds in regards to, dating. Because American men have, their
so
ideas.
All the African men that are in my inbox, I'm going to DM you a link for next week.
And I told you, because your inbox says, "Hello, my brother. I have a important message for you."
Do you have WhatsApp?
Do you have WhatsApp? It is a new.
The Affairs to the Heart link. Come subscribe. If you subscribe, I'll download the app.
It is a new technology app that helps you reach thousands and thousands of American people. And I have a letter. All you have to do, just like Yvonne Aji said, you just send them an email back saying, "I am one of you." "Oh, my sister, I'm sorry. I'll go ahead and delete the message." And we're done. We're done.
Or the sugar daddy ones.
Oh, those are the best.
Just looking for the sugar baby.
So if you are from different countries and you want to talk to us about dating from your country, whether you are Caribbean or English, let us know. We'd love to hear, because again, American men have different perspectives on dating and sex and what that looks like. So we'll probably try to throw that into a segment soon come.
Yeah.
Let's go to some of the comments and show you guys what the people were saying while we were talking about our letter from our heartbeat this week. We've got eyes. Thomas is a little confused.
Look, Thomas was trying to figure it out too.
Conflicts.
Right. It's all conflicts, man. It's all conflicts. There it is. Situationship. Yes. Absolutely. NYC2 says he just wants a fuck buddy. It seems like to me.
With benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Same difference, fuck buddy. Mm-hmm.
I guess.
You have to be careful with the bio section because people don't read half the time. They're looking at the pictures and seeing what they're attracted to.
And that is true, but that means you got to get them out during the messages.
I can't even tell you a time I read a bio on any of those apps. Seriously, I can't tell you that one time.
At least he's honest. At least so Devin is honest. You know, people will state one thing but do the complete opposite or mixed. Yeah. Okay.
Very true.
Sure.
I mean,
what's up?
That was basically the letter we just read. So
pretty much, Lexus, what's going on? Getting ran up in is life though? Question mark.
Nope, I'm not even gonna touch this one. Nope, not even gonna touch this one.
You know, one thing I think I don't process how I'm going to read the comments and the letters. I just read them, and I think it's the inflections that make them hilarious. That's just me.
Different strokes, different votes.
Miss LaBelle Bell is in the building, and she says, "You know, spiders eat the bugs you don't want in your home, right?"
I don't do any type of bugs. If you're not paying rent, there is no reason for you to be here.
Listen, that might be the rent, though.
That is the rent. He keeping the bugs out the house.
Nope.
He's like, it's me and you, boo. It's me and you.
Yeah. Not no more, because he right there on the floor.
He gonna have a whole Charlotte's Web. You wake up to a web that says something different every day.
I'll burn this whole building down.
He gonna have a message board. I ate them 3 other bugs from the kitchen, and I got something coming tomorrow. I'll let you know later.
Yeah, right.
Like a little answer machine.
Lexa says, "Oh, her 24. Live your life, make mistakes, and get it all out. Just wear condoms." Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen.
I mean, you know what? I guess I feel like that a little. I didn't want to say that, but I mean, now that Lexa said, I think I felt like that when I realized it was 24.
Yeah. I was too cautious.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
I mean, but he's already living his life, though. He needs to start enjoying it, though.
So basically,
you got to lay down with everybody.
It ain't about what that wasn't what he was saying. What he was saying was basically he wants what he's getting from Jacked from a consistent person. So he still wants to get ran up in, dug out. He just wants it from a consistent person.
Is that what you got?
Yes, that's what he said. He said,
but he just doesn't want a relationship. He wants it from a consistent person, just not a relationship. From time to time is what the letter actually said specifically. Lexus also said maybe folks look at him as nothing but something to smash. You got to remember, you get what you give. If that's the case, very true, very, very.
Sometimes
true.
It's not giving what it's supposed to give.
I don't think it's giving that either. I mean, if he worried about getting ran up in, I don't think he.
I just, I don't know what you were right about, Easy, but you were right. Mm-hmm. Let's just leave it at that. What's going on, Mark? How are you? Amberly, hey, welcome. The topic was our letter from our heartbeat, but we're gonna move on to, and she says, period. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to our dating and relationship topics for tonight. Let's get into it.
Oh my gosh.
Without ghosting someone, what's the best way to tell someone you're not interested in developing a romantic relationship?
You just said it.
I feel like I should have the Jeopardy music playing in the background.
I feel like the question, the answer is in the question.
What? Just tell them.
Okay.
Just tell them you're not interested in developing a romantic relationship. How more honest can you be?
I don't think it's always that easy, though.
It may not be easy.
It may not be as easy said as easy done. So,
So what you got then?
I love that you all are thinking about this because everybody's talking about it here. I'm not sure what's happening.
I mean, I think the blunt thing to do is to just say that, but I think that sometimes it's not easy like that. I mean, sometimes you don't want to hurt the person's feelings. First of all, let me just say this. I don't believe in ghosting at all. Like, I don't think that's okay at all. But I would probably kind of slow my communication down a little bit with the person so that they know that I'm not as interested. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that hopefully they would start kind of getting the hints. And if they wouldn't, then I would probably just have to be harsh and say, I'm not interested. Because, I mean, this has happened to me. There was a guy, we used to have sex all the time. And then he started kind of catching feelings and like want me to hang out with him outside of our sexual escapades. And it's like coming to his house for parties and things like that. And I didn't even look at him, you know, as that kind of person. Not that he was a bad guy or anything like that. I just wasn't expecting that. And so I had to tell him, I was like, when he was hitting me up more, I mean, to do that, I just kind of didn't answer until like after it was over. Oh, I just saw your text message because y'all know I'm good for that. Or I would kind of be like, oh, I got something to do that day. And then he just wasn't getting it. So I was just like, listen, I never even put thought into us hanging out outside of sex. So maybe we had a different kind of conversation before we started having sex. This could have been a possibility, but I guess it would be hard for me to kind of change the relationship that we have to hanging out outside of sex for me. Because I guess for me, like my friends that I have, we didn't just start hanging out. Like we kind of like, it's almost like a courting situation with my friends. Like we kind of talked and then we started like, you know, phone calls, all that stuff, even with my friendship. So I just wouldn't start doing that with somebody I was having sex with.
Easy.
Well, to the question, I stand by that. I think you should just be blatantly honest. Don't lead nobody on. Like literally, the answer is right there inside the question. Let them know that you're not romantically interested in them. Now, whether they take that, however they take that, that's on them. But you were honest. You were true. You said what you needed to say. That's that. Now, so yeah, it seems like the other guy caught feelings, and was hoping that hoping that the relationship would change. But I think in situations like that, you got to have those conversations. Those are things like you just got to revisit. Be like, you know what? He should just like I'm digging you a little bit more than just sex. Like I want to get to know you on a more like on a personal level, on a friendship level. Like I think that's what you told me.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And I mean, even going back to the letter that the guy wrote, you know, even that's a situation because I mean, to me, like for me, I'm a person where I can separate my sexual life and my dating life, period. So that stuff for me is not hard for me. Like if we meet on a sex tip, that's what it's going to be for me. It would have to be like a really odd situation for me to change from that. So even if the guy from the letter before, you have to be careful with that as well. You want a friends with benefits. You still have to be careful with that because you don't want a relationship. So you have to be careful with stuff like that because if it happens, you're put in this position where it's like, well, this is not really what I wanted, and now you have feelings, and I just don't have them.
Sometimes maybe you just got to revisit the relationship each month. You know, have a sit down.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah. Revisit. Just make sure they were still on the same page. Everything's good to go. You know, your Uber account is paid up. Like you just gotta
all right.
Go.
Okay. You know, I think with the comments and what everybody is saying, I think it's just as simple as just saying you're just not interested. I think what we tend to do sometimes too in our community is that we don't, you know, we're afraid of rejection, you know, and that comes from various areas and aspects, whether you were rejected by family or whether you were rejected by, you know, a lover or what have you, you know, that stings. And we don't want to, we try to spare someone's feelings without, you know, trying to not reject them Yet at the end of the day, we end up doing ourselves a disservice because we are still in situations and circumstances, that we should have been out of a long time ago if we were just honest and and just said, hey, I'm not interested, or this is not something that I would like to pursue. And I guarantee you saying that is a lot better and a lot easier than still putting up with somebody 5 or 6 or 10 years later that you shouldn't have been with in the first place.
And I think we talked about this when Rainier was on here. Sometimes we put our fear of rejection off on other people because thinking that they have that same fear. And so we don't reject them because of our fear of rejection. And we kind of stay in that circle of, not saying anything, or, eventually some people will ghost you, or just instead of just saying something. And so, sometimes people can receive that you're just not interested.
Mm-hmm. And you have to say, at the end of the day, you are responsible for the energy that surrounds you. You're responsible for, the people that you surround yourself with. And you have every right to say that I am not interested. I don't want any parts of it. I don't want anybody I don't want that around me, et cetera, et cetera. There's K Briggs has a lot to say about this topic. Clearly. What's up, Kay? We're glad you're here. There's a nice way to go about it without being rude. You don't have to, resort to, you don't have to resort to anything negative. You could just say, I'm just not interested. And if you're interested in just being friends, you could say that too. And stick to your guns, because then, those late night hours and those text messages get to going. You done had too much Henny, and, maybe you might change your mind. So don't stick to your guns. If you want to just be friends, and don't lead the person on. Absolutely.
Matter of fact, this was like our letter from last week.
It certainly was. That poor child. Listen, I hope he's not watching, because I still have PTSD about that letter. That was just too much. It's just too much going on.
I think some people actually hold on to, because if this was a sexual relationship, what if the sex was good? Like, you don't want to lose that, so you may prolong it a little bit.
No, Aaron. No.
I didn't say. No. I said some people do that though. That's true though.
We don't advise that.
I'm not advising no one to do that. I'm just saying this is probably a reason why people kind of are afraid to say I'm not interested, because they don't want to lose that. You know what I'm saying?
We have a quick commercial break. The thoughts and views of So Debonair do not reflect the Affairs of the Heart podcast or its affiliates. No.
I like how the way that I both stopped was just like, huh?
But I get what you say. I do get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So I'm just messing with you. I get what you're saying. Where there are people, that's the reason why people are the way that they are, because they don't want to ghost them, so they resort to whatever they can get from them, which is normally sex. And it becomes a whole toxic situation because you're only hanging on to the person because of the toxic sexual experience. Yes. And if you did not see the letter from last week, please go watch the episode after this one.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's not even bring that back up.
That was a mess.
Listen, slow communication is a form of ghosting. Do you agree or disagree with that?
It is. I wasn't gonna say anything because when So Debonair said it, I'm just like,
I don't think it's a form of ghosting. Now, hold on now. I feel attacked.
It is ghosting adjacent.
I'm under attack.
It is ghosting adjacent.
I don't feel like it's a form of ghosting. I feel like it's kind of easing the person into the blow. Like, I don't want to do this. It's because to me, it's more hurtful for me to spend all this time with this person. When I call, he's answering, we're doing what we do. And then I express my feelings and I'm like, okay, I got to lighten this blow before I give him the TNT. So let me start inching my way out of it before I say, hey, you know what? It's not for me. And I think for me, and maybe I'm speaking for my own personal self, I probably would like this for me. I would rather that than for me to be like, all interested in it. And then they'd be like, oh, I'm not interested. Like that would give me that would be hurtful to me.
But would you rather somebody be straightforward with you as opposed to like weaning you off time and like slowly, like because that also does something as well. I think like when you're on the receiving end of somebody slowly taking away their communication from you, then you start to get in your own head, and if you don't have clarity, then it becomes something else. You know what I mean? So is that not?
Well, I mean, I guess while I'm thinking about it, I'm guessing for me, it's like, well, you've given me a different situation than we've already kind of had. This is something I may need to process. So my answer may be yes, and maybe no. But I mean, I just sprung this upon you. So for me, I wouldn't look at it like that.
Is it really something that they sprung up on you? If it's something that they're feeling, and then they're going to confide in you to let you know how they're feeling about something?
If our relationship was just sex, and then all of a sudden you're like, let's hang out and you go on dates and shit, like that's springing this on me.
But I don't think. But I mean, like, how do you do? Like, if he's being upfront with you, but like, I know things have changed because I'm feeling the change, but I want to let you know. So I don't think it's really necessarily like. I feel like random people popping up your house is something that you spring on people. Like you bringing that bitch to my house and I don't like her. That's you springing somebody on me. But if you're expressing your feelings towards me, because it's just like I feel like in that case, like if he comes over with an overnight bag and he leaves it there, that's something you springing up on somebody. Like take your stuff with you. Why
I'm gonna be like, excuse me, you left your bag.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is instead of pushing them off the cliff, you're gonna walk them down the cliff.
Isn't that like? I mean, that's like killing them versus like. I mean, you're still alive. Let me get you to your car so you can go on your way.
You know what? I'm not playing with you.
I think sometimes, like, what if it was a sexual thing and the other person may be feeling like that? I don't know. I mean,
you got good ass.
My mind is just going in 1,000 places right now because I just feel like maybe the person that you're springing this on may need time to process what you said.
And that's fine. That they take the time to process it and just to see how you feel about it. If it's something that you would even want to consider. But
I think that you are looking at it from a perspective of a situation, in my opinion, Aaron, that you are not really interested in the person that you're having this conversation with. Mm-hmm. Like it is literally just what it was supposed to be, and that is that on that. You don't want anything else. And then they're like, but I want to cuddle with your booty, and I want to see you more, and I want to go eat, and because like I'm sprung, and you're not interested.
What are you taking us to eat though?
See? See, don't listen to Easy.
Because maybe we go out to eat and then we could, have this conversation after you pay for the meal.
Oh, now you want to.
If he's taking you to Wendy's, yeah. But if he's taking you to Ruth's Chris,
See, wait a minute. Luce's in the building. Luce says, use your words. Just use your words. LaBelle, my favorite person in the world, says, the problem is there's no communication up front. If you both know what you're getting, there should be no misunderstanding. But people have, I'm assuming that's people have feelings, so it's always going to be an awkward situation. Always. You just have to be upfront and honest.
We're different people from day to day. Like everything's changing. None of us are the same person we were a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Also, with different life experiences, you don't know what's going to affect someone in what manner and in what way.
Absolutely.
So Debonair is thinking.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, the reason why is this. So
here we go, y'all. Here we go.
You remember the conversation from the radio station about the guy who broke up with me on the air, right?
Yes. There's a story that he's told many times on the podcast about a gentleman who he found on Tinder, and the gentleman called into his radio show and decided to break up with him on the air live because he felt some type of way.
We weren't together though.
But they weren't together.
We weren't together. And maybe this is why I'm like, maybe you need to ease into it, because I wasn't interested. Like we hung out, and I realized I wasn't interested. So I told him, and he just kind of kept trying to keep it going after that. And I feel like in the past, I mean, after that, like I've kind of slowed people into it, and it hasn't been that. So maybe that's why I think like that.
Because everybody's not him.
Yeah, everybody's not him.
Well, I understand that, but I just want to avoid stuff like that. Like, I don't want nobody stalking me and stuff like that.
I mean, you can't help what people are going to do. That's not on your end. Like, if you're respectful and kind and courteous and let them know, like, hey, I'm not really feeling you that way. This isn't where I want this relationship to go. You've done your part. You did your.
But like he wouldn't stop calling me.
But that's on him. That's an issue.
He was doing a lot.
He's not able to accept rejection. That's something he needs to look in the mirror and figure out for himself.
I think I just want to avoid the drama, and that's what I'm saying.
But you never know what's it going to be.
But so Debonair, what would have been the alternative, right? So like you said what you said, and he felt like if he was going to be persistent, it was going to help, but his persistence was annoying. So then what do you do after that, right?
I feel like if I would have eased him into I'm not interested, it would have worked better for me.
He still would have done the same thing. He still would have been trying to be persistent, and it still would have gotten on your nerves. So, that's a behavior that you look out for. When you see that kind of behavior, you cut that off. You cut that off immediately. When somebody is kind of stalkerish, or they're kind of, a little Lynn Whitfield from Thin Line Between Love and Hate, like you got to look at that kind of behavior and be like, okay, listen, I said what I said. I was trying to be nice, but you're doing a little too much.
He wasn't right from the get-go. There was no way you could ease into it. So like drove into it. Like, it doesn't matter how you would have handled that type of situation. He would have still gave you the same result.
So you walked him down that hill.
He's got his own demons he got to work out.
I pushed him off the hill that he climbed. I pushed him off the hill that he climbed back up the bitch. I'm like, wait a minute now.
Right.
I know exactly. I just told you, and now you calling to my damn. No, okay, no, this ain't gonna work now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to argue with him all night. It was a mess. It was a mess.
And you're arguing with somebody you're not even in a relationship with.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying it was, to me, it was because I was like, I'm not. It was like the experience of us hanging out. I didn't like it. It wasn't something. It was nothing bad about him. I just didn't feel
the energy
like it was gonna go anywhere. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with those. Are your feelings. Those are valid. Those are your feelings towards him. It nothing for you to be ashamed about. If he can't accept that, then that's, like I said, that's on him. That's not on you. That's like no. That, I was about to give an example, but that's going to be a whole other situation. Nope.
I knew this question was had gotten personal for Aaron, so we had to take a little time, get it together. Right, it's okay.
Had to ease into it.
Ease into it. You don't want anybody to run up in there.
And that was the first time I tried to date after my relationship too. So like it was scary for me. I don't know.
So you had a whole lot of stuff going on too, because you were like, "Is this how people actually are?" Oh no, I gotta figure this out.
I took a break after that. I was like, "Give me another year. I need another year."
All right, let's go to our next relationship topic for the night. And here we are. How do you feel about going through your partner's phone or social media? Should you have the passcodes to access their things?
No. I don't want it.
Oh, easy. I don't know if I like this face, friend. Oh, okay. All right. Rasta, what's up, my friend? Just facts. Let's normalize being upfront. Respect. If you don't follow Rasta Brown, please follow him. He is an amazing person on social media. That was a shameless plug. I'm sorry. How do you feel about going through your partner's phone or social media? Should you have access to their things?
There's so many ways you can look at this.
I'll start because y'all are quiet. I think
I answered it. I said no, I don't want it.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I was done. I was done.
There's nothing to elaborate on. That's that on that. No, I agree. I don't. That is very borderline, and I'm always very weary of people. When you get in relationships and situations like that where they're like, "I need to see your phone. I need to see what's in it," because that's borderline. Insecurities, that's kind of like a trust issue situation. Let's sit down and let's have a conversation as to why you feel like you need to have the access to that, and then don't mask it behind, well, I mean, if you love me, you'll let me see it. That kind of toxic behavior. Clearly you have an insecurity that you haven't dealt with. So let's talk about why you have the insecurity. Who hurt you, who was doing whatever they were doing and you found it or what have you, and let's talk about that, because I'm not that person, right? I just think that it's necessary to, again, as Luce said before, use your words, talk it out, identify when you have insecurities, identify when something triggers you, and be able to be an adult and articulate why it triggers you, because clearly it's something from the past. It's something that you have not formally dealt with. And if the person that you are in a relationship with at the time, where I'm talking about somebody in a relationship, now I'm not talking about somebody you fucking and you happen to just go over to the house and they sleep and you hold their phone up to their face to open, lock their phone and then go through their stuff. But what I'm saying is,
that sounded real like.
Did it sound personal? Did it sound specific? It wasn't specific. That's never happened. But I really think that you need to be upfront with your insecurities and you need to identify with them. And if you're with somebody who is really with you, they're going to unpack that baggage with you. Let's talk about why you have this insecurity, what's going on, and don't be defensive initially. And, really try to, if you really love that person, get down to the bottom of why this is a trigger for them. And I say this wholeheartedly because my partner and I have had some triggers in some cases. And it has kind of come out of the blue, and you kind of go, okay, wait a minute. What is this bringing up for you? Why is this an issue? And it has been some of the best conversations that we've had, because we've really gotten down to the bottom, whether it's him or I, we've gotten down to the bottom of why, this is triggering. And it may even be stuff that you didn't even know was triggering to you until it actually happens.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents on it.
I just think it's self-sabotage. Like, you're going to start reading things that may not mean what you think that they're going to mean. And this is all things, I've done this shit before. So, I'm speaking from experience. I torture myself doing this. I would never in my life do it again. If I don't trust you, I just don't trust you. I don't need to read why I don't trust you, because what I feel, it's probably real for me. And unless you're going to change it for me, that's it. But it's self-torture, like reading messages, especially if your mind is set on this person is cheating or this person is being shady. You could read the most innocent thing and it's going to come off as shade to you. So, and even if you think about like text messaging, like in your own phone, sometimes you have to call the person like, that's not how I meant that. So I just think that having all the access to this stuff is just opening up Pandora's box to so much. And if you feel a certain type of way, I just think that, one, you probably already know what it is. If you're going to fix it, fix it. If you're not, let it go.
Easy, you are really quiet over there, Fred. What's going on?
I think what you both said was great and amazing, and I think those are definitely 2 ways of looking at a situation. And
but here we go.
I mean, I just feel like there's certain. Now, I'm not advising for everybody. You gotta really know. I feel like you really gotta know yourself and know your limits and what you can handle, what you can't handle. And if you're having a gut feeling that something ain't right, and you can definitely come to them with the conversations like Dwayne and So Debonair presented, and you still just like, and you can really look at yourself and be like, you know what, this really isn't my insecurities. This really isn't like something that I'm playing. I'm not playing myself. Something is just not right. And you just gotta be prepared for what you may find if you go through someone's phone. because like a lot of people say, if you go through, you're gonna find out you're gonna find something that you're looking for. Okay, so I know I found something, and I was right about my intuition, and I handled the situation from there. Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. I think the other aspect to that too is that if you have an intuition, then you already know.
Right.
There is no, and with that being said, then then you should have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be, respect the gadget, trying to figure out, and now if you stupid, you're ultimately going to find what you're looking for. That always happens.
Mm-hmm.
And like in my situation, it was a little situationship. It wasn't a full blown, it wasn't a relationship. It was just a guy that I was talking to, seeing on a regular. He just happened to be over, and I can't remember exactly what was said, but it was one of those things where we were having a conversation, and I left the room, and I just remember the feeling like, wait a minute, that ain't what that nigga said the other day. And and it was just like a couple days later, I just happened to just think, because it was still sitting on my mind, it was still sitting on my brain, on my heart, on my soul. It felt right. And he was in the shower, the phone was right there on the table. I just happened to look at the phone. I'm like, and it was like that first thing that popped up. I'm like, got it.
But again, like I'm trying to get like the pinpoint the situation. Like if you felt the thing you felt initially, then should have been the conversation. Like
you're probably right. And I was young, and I mean, I was definitely young. I was in my early 20s when that happened, and I wasn't experienced. I was definitely like new to the. I'm not gonna say new to the scene, but I was just like new to like living out loud, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I didn't do nothing too crazy. Just
you still did something crazy. It just wasn't too crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy. I took back everything that I bought. Put it that way.
So Debonair, what is his face?
I mean, I've been here. I've been expecting gadget. I mean, I have went through the inboxes. I print off the messages, laid them on the bed so you can see that I've seen these messages. I've done all that stuff, but in hindsight, it was torture for me, because I was like, you keep on going through all this when what you originally thought, it was already there. So you knew it was going on. Inside, something's going to tell people. I'm a person. I'm a person that believes in patterns. When patterns start to change, you know something is going on. Period. I don't got to go through your inbox to find out that you're doing something that I know you're doing, because you've changed on me. Especially if we've been dating for a long time, I know that. So I don't need to go through your inboxes to get the evidence, because if I get the evidence, it's going to be 10 times worse. I need to, like, mentally, for myself, keep it at, this is just, I know something is going on, because I don't want to be in jail. I don't want to have a problem bigger than, I'm serious. I'm just being serious.
Who's going to jail?
I'm telling you, I've almost been there.
I ain't incriminating myself. I don't know nothing about. Something crazy happened.
I'm telling you, I've been through messages, and I'm trying to tell you right now, it's been to the point I almost been in jail. So at this point, if I feel it, either I'm going to leave, or I'm going to confront you, and you're going to tell me the truth. Matter of fact, even with the guy that, we talked about the guy that was living here, tell me the truth. If you can't tell me the truth, I can't do it. The thing to me is, be honest about your shit, period. If you could be honest, I'm cool with it. It's not going to be like a cakewalk for you, but be honest about your shit.
Well, you can do more with honesty than you can do with a lie.
Yeah.
And again,
because if I have to go search and find it out, it's going to, like I said, it's going to be worse. So tell me up front. If I ask you a question about some shit you did, just tell me, because 9 times out of 10, I already know.
Yeah, I think that really is what makes it worse. Because I remember asking him, like, just to seeing what he was going to say.
I'll never do that again.
Yeah. And that, like I said, that only happened one time, and I feel like even now, like if something were to happen on those lines, I would walk away from it.
I just think, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not perfect. Nobody is
Right.
perfect.
At all.
And there are times when, you tell little white lies, or you say things that that you want, that you think your partner or the person that you're with want to hear, yet at the end of the day, it's not the truth. So at all costs, if at all possible, be honest up front. That way you don't have to continuously keep up the lie.
Right.
I'll add this to it. I think it goes further and deeper when individuals choose to stay after they find out information. I think that's really where it, because it's like you see a lot of people. I watch a lot of divorce court. That's my show, and I'm just like, there's because the people be on there. They're like, I found this out this long time ago. This is the fourth time he cheated on me. I'd be finding. Why are you still there, sweetheart?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but some people like to give people the benefit of the doubt. They like to, love is a very powerful situation in some cases.
When is the straw? When is the line?
But how many times though?
Yes.
And I hate to be the promotion for TV One, but Monday nights on TV One for my man comes on every week, and that's what happens all the time. And then niggas be dead in the damn streets. So I'm just trying to tell you, like, this is why I don't play around, seriously, because it happened. This is real life stuff. So I don't play around with it. I don't play around with it.
If Affairs of the Heart is not on TV One by the end of the year,
you're
gonna have a problem.
Listen, the way you go to bat for this TV One show.
This is an education. This is an educational moment, but if you need to go watch it for yourself, because you know what, we can talk about it all we want to talk about it, but these are real situations on that damn show on Monday nights. So if y'all don't believe us, watch it.
It's not us. It's you.
No, I'm not talking about y'all too. I'm talking about people that are watching us.
Don't include us in this cosign, because
I said I'm not talking about y'all two, like the Wayne and the Easy. I'm talking about people that are watching who don't believe that this stuff is real. It happens, and it turns to a whole other situation. Even I just said I could have been in jail. Honestly, I could have. I could have been up for my man at some point, honestly, because of stuff that I was reading and it was alive. There was so much going on, but that's why I don't want to do it. If I feel it, I'm gonna ask you maybe 3 times. If you're gonna keep lying to me, I'm out.
Yeah, I just feel like
it's not worth my energy. It's worth my life.
It shouldn't be.
It's not.
And I just feel like if you're gonna stay in the situation, you're just asking for it. Like, I feel like once you find. Every situation is different, but I can't be the one to stay in a situation where my man has done me wrong. Like, I just can't. I don't like.
Rasta says, appreciate you, brother. Oh, that's me. I appreciate you too, friend. No, there is not a good way to build trust. Also, if you ever get to the point where you need to have these codes, think about if it's a relationship worth keeping. Most importantly, why are you even feeling like you need to have their login information? Thomas is here. Hey, Thomas. It is one thing to have each other's passcodes, like, hey babe, I'm seasoning this chicken, can you grab the phone and tell Tish to stop and grab some soda on the way here? Like, that's one thing to get, type it in real quick because you can't do it, but that's again, that's trust in a situation. It's clearly something else to feel entitled to review your partner's communications, which is, very true. That's a different situation. If you're looking for something, you will find it, as has been expressed many times. Miss Bell says, well, if you already know, why stick around to hear it? Just bounce. Which, is something that Aaron has said as well. And Aaron, Misty says, hey. All right, gentlemen, is that on that topic?
On that.
Yes.
All right, last, because Easy is getting ready to pop a zit over there, and he is, woo, I can't take it. The last relationship topic for the night: how much time does it take to grieve a relationship? That's a very good question. How much to did y'all see Soul Debonair's face? How much time does it take to grieve? Soul Debonair, what happened? He's gonna take a long sip of his
I'm
drink.
just drinking my drink.
Okay. Does it take a long time to grieve a relationship? Okay, all right. So clearly, these two have relationships. They still not over because they still grieving, honey. I don't know how long it take it.
No, it's not because I'm still grieving.
Okay.
You gotta remember.
I have grieved. I'm done grieving. That's not what I was doing.
He was gathering his thoughts.
You want to expound on how you feel, Soul Debonair? What's going on?
I think that it depends on how long the relationship was. I think there's a lot of different factors that come into that. But I mean, in my personal experience, I took 3 years for me personally. I took 1 year to just figure out if we were still gonna get back together. I took a year for myself, and the third year I figured out I took it to just figure out if I even wanted to even try it again. So we had a long relationship, but I don't know. Like, I think there's a specific time. I think it depends on how long your relationship was, how involved you guys were. What did you guys do in that relationship? That could change. It just depends. And I think that personal healing is very important. One thing that I did say, after I got my relationship was, I don't even know who I am anymore as an individual. And I need to figure out, who I am as, Aaron. I've been in a relationship for so long, and I had to process the fact that going back into the dating world has changed since, me and Max were together. How does that even work? I mean, it was a lot. So that might have made me grieve a little bit longer, because I'm like, should I try to go back? Because I didn't know, So it depends on the situation to me. For me, it took me about 3 years.
Okay. Easy.
Personally, Easy has never been in a relationship, so I can't really give a time frame. But at the same time, I don't think there is a specific time to attach to it. Like Soul Debonair said, there's many factors with being in a relationship. If you have property together, if you have children together, bank accounts, if you have businesses together, or just the longevity of a relationship, it takes time for you to separate. It takes time for you to find yourself again. It takes time for you to figure out exactly what it looks like for you to be dating again. So I think, if anything, you just take your time with it. Don't rush it. All right. I think that's the best way to go about it. Just take your time. Don't rush it. Make sure you're completely healed. Make sure you're healed financially. Make sure you're healed sexually. Make sure you're healed mentally, physically, emotionally. I think once you master all of those aspects of making sure that you're good to go, put one foot out there and see what happens.
All right. I think I agree with both of you. I think there is no set time, but then you also don't want to linger in the loss of the relationship too long, right? You don't want to, continuously put yourself through the ringer as it pertains to why the relationship did not work. I think introspective work is very important as it pertains to the end of a situation, or a relationship in particular. I think it's extremely important for you to identify the part that you played as to why it ended, and the part that your ex played as to why the situation ended. But again, I would admonish you not to stay in that space and or that situation very long, because then you're going to regret comes in, and then anger comes in, and frustration comes in. You're going to go through the emotions of the loss of the relationship, and you're going to continuously torture yourself if you don't move on. At the end of the day, the relationship is over. You assess why it's over and what happened. Deal with why it's over and what happened. Seek counseling if you absolutely need to, to kind of help you get over the hump of the end of the relationship. And especially, Aaron is saying amen. I have your colleagues are saying amen because they understand what you're saying. Because that's extremely important. Some people don't know how to get over the fact that this relationship, this marriage, this engagement or what have you was something that was supposed to last. This was supposed to be my American dream, if you will. And sometimes you need to seek counseling as to why that ended and how you can get over it and live your life. So I would advise everything that everybody has said, plus seek counseling and just don't sit in it too long.
I think a lot of people say in the space of, is it really over, for a long time? Depending on situations. I think that for me, I didn't know, even when we broke up, because we were kind of still seeing each other. We were actually going through counseling at the same time after we broke up. Like,
be honest, y'all was still doing the bump and grind.
Oh no, we were not. We weren't. We weren't even doing that. We weren't even doing that before we broke up. So that was definitely the case. But we were trying to figure out if we were going to get back together. So we were going through counseling together. And I didn't realize that we were going through counseling to break up. We were going to counseling. Ooh. I thought we were going to counseling because trying to figure out where we went wrong. So I think that's one of the biggest things for me. And then you said something. What was the first thing you said? Oh, why? I think the why part is another place that people get stuck at. Because the why are we breaking up? It's hard. Because if you like, let's say we dated, you may feel like it was terrible, but I may feel like it wasn't like that. And so in my mind, I just don't understand it. And unless the person that you've been dating gets you closure with that, it will drag you on for a very long time. So, and that's why I said I don't think there's a time frame, because it depends on even if you guys have closure at the end of that relationship. Because if you don't, you can wonder about closure for a very long time. I think I got to a place where I need closure for myself after a year, because I'm like, this is not gonna happen again. I think we doubled back one time and had sex, and again it was like, oh, we're gonna get back together. This and this. So I got caught up in a loop. But then after that, it was a lot of other bullshit. So I was like, this is not gonna happen. So I had to take it upon myself to say, hey, this ain't it. And even that, it took a lot of time, because I had to deprogram myself, because I'm used to a relationship. I'm used to waking up every day and us being together, us paying bills together, us being together every day. And now I'm by myself in a whole place where my family's not even here. It's me, and I'm doing it by myself, and I've never done this before. So it took a lot, but I think that because I have my best friend around, it was very helpful for me, because he kept me on track the entire time. It was like, no, you're not gonna sit here and be sad every day. We're not gonna sit here and try to figure this out every day. It's over. Like, he was harsh. He was like, one thing I love that he said to me, he was, I know this is hard. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I cried so bad, because I'm like, this shit gonna get. I was already feeling like at the lowest of the lowest, and it's gonna get worse. And he was like, yeah, because you have to realize that this is really over. And I don't think that I even had thought about that until he said that to me. So I think that depending on who you have around you, you need a support team for this. Especially if it's been a long relationship, you need a support team, because some people will stay in that, especially if the person keeps coming around and giving you false hope, or even like the little slightest part of communication, you may misinterpret it to, oh, yeah, he's still in love with me, or whatever. So you kind of need that, because if you're not in a mind frame of this is really over. You need someone who's gonna give you the harsh reality that it's over. Like you really have to move on.
Yeah, my best friend and I have always had this saying when situations have happened to us simultaneously. So whether it was, bad with breakups or, life situation happens, he has always told me you get one day to grieve, to be upset, to be frustrated. You literally get one day, and then tomorrow, get your ass up and let's figure out what needs to happen. Let's move forward.
One day.
You get one day to feel sorry about yourself, to feel whatever the get it out, cry, whatever the case is. And I like that lesson has always stuck with me through any situation. Like I get one day to feel how I need to feel and get my emotions out, and then tomorrow I'm about to get my ass up and I'm about to figure out what I need to do. Let's make this move.
Can I tell you something? So the day that me and my ex broke up, I started my job. It was the very first day of my job. And literally, I thought they was going to fire me, honestly, because I could not even sit in that place without crying everywhere. And the lady that I was sitting with, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I couldn't even speak. I was crying so much. These people don't even know me. And she was like, "Come with me." And she took me to the break room. And she was like, "What is going on?" She was like, "You cannot sit here and do this all day." And I said, I don't want to expose me being gay at my job at this point. Like, I'm like, I just met y'all. Like, let me ease y'all into the fact that I'm gay and all this other stuff, like a regular person does. I had to tell her. So she's like, "Listen, I don't give a damn if you gay, purple, green. Dry this shit up. We're gonna get through this day of work, and you're gonna go home, do what you got to do." Because I was moving that day too. Do what you got to do. Come back here tomorrow. You cry. She said, "Cry your eyes out tonight." She said, "But if I got to call you and make you cry and cuss your ass out tonight, I will do it because I need you to come to work tomorrow and be a better person." She said, "Because tomorrow you still got to come to work, whether y'all get back together or not." And it was very harsh, but it was my reality. Like I really had to do this because it was me by myself at this point. And me and her, like, we're really cool to this day, but I will never forget that because I never been through a breakup at this time before either. So it was hard. I didn't know what to do. But again, like, I don't know if this person has been through multiple relationships or whatever, but the first one, that's hard. Like, I don't think there's a real answer to this.
Easy.
Unless you have strong people around you that's going to like take you through the course. Mm-hmm.
Easy, nothing.
Remember, I'm the one who hasn't been in a relationship. I kind of gave my piece to this.
Okay,
but I will co-sign with you about the 24 hours thing. I've always done that. Even certain situationships that I've had, 24 hours. That's it. That's all you get. That's all the time I can give you. That's it. Cry your eyes out and keep moving.
All right, so let's go to some of the comments because you guys have a lot to say about it. Oh, Lakeisha say, hey, Keisha.
Hey, Lakeisha, that's my friend from home.
The time really depends on the person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very true. Very true. K-Brick says, as much time as you need, I guess. I've never been in a relationship, so I can't say that firsthand.
Yeah.
There really isn't a defining time to grieve a relationship. People grieve at their own pace. Put on some echo, and it always makes things better. Listen, that's possible. Possible. No, she don't make things better. Okay.
I don't think she does.
It's like there's the what is it?
Put on some Mary J. Blige.
You know how celebrities or whatever, like, people are really gung ho over, and then it's just like you look at them like, what? I don't see it for her.
Mary J. Blige will take you through a whole breakup,
and she'll be high as a kite. She'll be high as a kite while she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Damien said, one day sounds good on paper, but in a full relationship and God forbid a marriage, that's not realistic. Maybe a dating scenario. Not necessarily. What I mean by one day, I'm not saying that you completely let everything go. You're not going to be healed in one day, but you get one day to get your emotions out and feel how you feel. Just like Aaron just said, where the lady was like, "Listen, you do what you got to do today, but you still got to come to work tomorrow."
Exactly. Because now you're on your own. It's not a 2-person income no more. It's a 1-person income.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out where you're gonna go. You got to figure out where you're gonna live, how you gonna eat.
But I'm gonna tell you guys something though. Like even when she said that, it's so crazy because my best friend came to my job. I couldn't even drive my car home that day. He came to my job and he was like, "When's the last time you ate?" I was like, "I don't even remember the last day I had ate because we already gone through probably before this." And literally like fed me food. Like this is how depressed I was. And like every day after work, he would come to my job and like make sure I ate food. I was depressed. Like I had lost so much weight. After that, I was a mess. I don't. So I agree with Damian saying because it's like it depends on how long the relationship was, and even if it was a marriage, it's different because that one day thing. I mean, she wanted me. I don't think I even went the next day. I probably wasn't as bad as I was the first day, but I still was not present. I was still. I wasn't. I don't think I was all the way there. But my best friend, he sat outside of my job every day. Lunchtime, he was at my job. Did you eat? We want to get some food. Like he was there for me for all that stuff. So.
But I think that again, my statement is not to be void of. You're going to go through the emotions. It's going to take some time. I'm not saying that you should just cut it completely off. I'm just saying in your mind, you have to tell yourself, okay, I'll get 1 day, 2, and then I have to figure out life. Life is still happening. I have to move on.
These people don't care about you. They will replace you. A lot.
I have to be able to move on and I have to figure out what life is. And it's going to take some time and some days, but you just have to keep in mind, okay, yep, I had my cry. I may have another one tomorrow, but I get today to kind of get it all out, and then I got to move forward. So
you can cry at home, leave it in the car. When you walk into the workplace, you're a fierce bitch. When you walk out,
I got it. Let's get because ain't no ending of a relationship gonna mess up my bag, honey. I need to make sure I get these coins because I need to be able to get.
That's what we don't do.
Aaron's face, and he was like, "I tried. I was trying. I tried."
It all sounds great. Seriously, it does.
Of course.
The reality of the situation is that 1 day thing. It don't. And I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's like that. I think that you may pretend for as long as you can, but you have to take some bathroom breaks where you break it down on day 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe next week. You can give it 1 day. Whatever, but. It takes a lot, especially for a long-term relationship. It's not a one-day situation, and I'm not thinking like what you're saying. Seriously, like it's hard. Like your whole life has changed, and you have no control over it. Or unless you're the person who broke with the other person, then maybe that'd be different. But if you're like blindsided by this whole shit, it's hard. Like I don't. There's no time frame to me. I think that you have to take your time, but you do have to keep your shit together to keep your job and your life together. Because at the end of the day, you don't get fired because your man left you. Because now you done lost him and the damn job. Exactly. Now you really having a problem. So
now you got something to cry about.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky to have people at the job. The first that I met that understood me, because even my supervisor was like. The lady told my supervisor she told her what was going on, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to come?" I was like, "No, I don't want to go home because I got to learn and stuff. Like I'm financially on my own right now. I cannot choose a day off." And she was like, "All right, cool." She's like, "Let me know if it's getting too bad for you." But they were really understanding to me about everything I was going through, and we had built really great relationships while I was working there at that time. And I respect them so much because they just understood me from, what I told them. But it was hard though, guys. And like I said, it took me like a week. I used to go to the bathroom and bawl my eyes out for like a week at least.
You have to. I see your face, Easy. You have to understand. This was Aaron's very first relationship.
I know. No, okay.
That went into a marriage.
I understand that, and I'm not a person that shows also emotion out and about. So if you see me out and about, and you will never know that I'm going through something. I
I
literally
try.
will wait. I literally
Honestly,
will wait until I get back into my house, the door is locked, and then I will let it out. And even then,
I'm
it's
not either
still
though. I'm not a person who shows my emotions outside of the house either. Like I'm so like people will tell you like all my happiness, my sadness, it all looks the same for me. But that was just different for me. It was like someone had murdered somebody in my life. It was different for me. But I couldn't help. I could not help it. It was the worst shit I've ever been through in my life. It also makes me very cautious about dating now too, because I don't even know if I want someone to have that much of me again.
I mean, love is. No. That's another day. That's another day.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to our sex topics. Thank you guys for your thoughts and your personal opinions. Because that's what this show is about. Let's see. Aaron, in a 10-year relationship and marriage, I would expect that. It's devastating. Absolutely. I agree. And the aunties are here. The Minority Report is in the room, and they said, "Oh, you got to just keep dating. Just keep dating, boo. It's okay."
That's hard. That's hard.
Shout out to the Minority Report. If you are following us, make sure you follow them on YouTube as well. They will be guests on our show very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. By the way,
we gotta find out some good stuff for them too.
Yes, we do.
Good stuff.
Alexa says these men ain't shit. Well, all right.
At all.
All right. Sex. Okay. Because y'all talking about some deep stuff, I'm trying to get to the fun stuff. Okay. So have you ever had an uncomfortable situation in a threesome? How did you handle it? How did you handle it? And how would you handle it if you haven't? What is this hush over the crowd? Like nobody has anything to say.
I was trying to see if y'all gonna say something first. Like, do I have to go first every time?
I mean, you are Beyonce right now in the middle. I mean, you might as well figure out what you're gonna say.
Where all my single ladies at? Not just
they all in the comments.
I actually have had this before. I had a threesome with a couple, and like they were arguing the entire time, and they actually broke up in the middle of it, and it wasn't because of me. I think they were having like personal problems before I got there, but they were still trying to have sex. Well, I was so confused because I didn't know. Listen, I didn't know what was going on because they were kind of arguing while we were having sex. So at first, I didn't really understand. I didn't realize they were having an argument. But then when I did realize it, I was like, well, maybe I should leave. And they were like, no, don't leave. And I was like, no, because y'all need to deal with it. No. We're good. So I stayed. And then they started arguing again. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. So I had called my Uber and I left. And then they tried to Uber me back over there again. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, the one guy was like, well, he left. And I want to have sex with you. And I was like, well, what if he comes back? Like, I just don't want to do this. My dumb ass goes back. And the other guy comes back. So I left. So then after the next day, they had broken up. Somehow the other guy got his own place. The other guy still had the same place. So then they were calling me to have sex with them individually, like every day for like a month. And I had to block them out of my phone. I had to block them out of my phone. That's my uncomfortable situation in the threesome. And that's how I handled it.
I don't even know if I want to expound on any of that.
It's too much. It's too much.
Indeed.
Were you having sex with them for that month?
This was the first time I went over there.
No, I mean you said after they got their own places.
Oh no, I didn't know. No. After they broke up, I wasn't because I'm like, am I gonna come over there and then he gonna be there and then it was too much. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well.
No.
I don't think we're supposed to expand on this, Dwayne. I think it's just a share and tell type of situation.
That's why I don't know why y'all let me go first. I don't know why y'all let me go first and stuff. Like
because you always have the good sex stories.
But on the sex topic, it's like I don't think that I should be going first because I'm pretty sure that mine is probably worse than y'all's.
Well, I don't have one. I've never had a threesome. That's something that we don't do over here.
Well, it says, how would you if handle it if you haven't?
If I haven't
had one,
I'm gonna be having one. Like
come on, easy.
I'm being honest. That's not something. Nah.
You've never been in a threesome situation.
I've never been.
Ever.
No.
Okay, you had to think about it.
I'll say this. I've come close, but I was going against my own judgment because I'm like, this isn't something that I do. It's not something that I want to do, and I was there out of anger. Not out of anger. It wasn't something that either one of them did. I was put in a situation, and they just happened to be. My friend happened to be there in the proximity, and was just like, "Well, come here, stay the night, chill, and you go home in the morning." I was like, "Cool." I didn't know he had a whole little thing going on at his place and was like, you want to come in and join. I'm like, no, that's not what I do. Then I started drinking, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should do this. But then I felt myself like doing it out of anger from the previous situation that even put me there. And I was like, oh. So I'm standing in the doorway, I'm looking. Now I felt like it was like double dutch. Like, when do I hop in? When do I hop out? Like, this is confusing to me. I'm going back in the living room. I sat on the couch and I watched beaches until I fell asleep.
Come on, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, that's the closest I've ever been to a threesome, but it doesn't seem like something that I would want to do.
I don't think that I've had anything uncomfortable happen. I have had some experiences that are with threesomes, and I don't think I've had anything uncomfortable. It's pretty because here's the other aspect for me when I would do threesomes with people. Number one, I don't really seek them out. I would be invited to situations, and I would not do it unless I knew all parties involved. Like I wouldn't go into situations like that blindly. Like I need to know who this other person is. Who are they to you? How often does this happen? Like I need all of the details and all the stats before I even enter into the situation, just because I don't, it's uncomfortable. And it's nothing like being in that type of situation with somebody that you don't find attractive. Like that's also not a good look. So I'm very detailed. I'm very specific about it when I would do it. So I don't really have any weird situations to speak of. Easy.
Like I said, that was my story, but I'll say this.
He's sticking to it.
No. I will say I'm not gonna put a distance out there, but when I got to my friend's place, the person he was about to do was someone that I was talking to.
The plot thickens.
So it was like my friend, and not to mention he's a very well-known porn star. So he was in town visiting. So he was just like, just come here and chill. Like, don't even worry about that shit. And so I get there, and then my friend come out of the bathroom. I'm like, bitch, what you doing here? What is this?
Apparently the same thing he thought you were doing there, but that was not.
Oh no, I was there. I was, like I said, I was in a situation where I ended up being stranded, and I had no way of getting home.
Oh wow!
Like, and so he just happened to be in the area. It was just like, yo, just chill here for the night, and then we'll get you home in the morning. So
it was a setup.
No, I promise you, it wasn't a setup. I can tell you
on his part. Chill here, come here, and you'll be. It was a setup. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Aaron, you all right?
I've had another bad experience.
Do tell. We're all ears.
Where
Here you go. Here you go.
we were having a threesome, and the third person was like, "Can we just have sex? Because I'm not really feeling the other person."
In front of the other person?
Yeah, it happened a lot, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
It happened a lot, like more than once?
Mm-hmm. Read between the lines, guys.
I'm not reading.
What's next?
I'm trying very hard not to comment on your last statement. We're gonna keep it moving.
I know you are.
I am literally, it's not very often that I am speechless.
I know you are.
Write it down, timestamp it, because there is so many things I wish I could say.
You get if you guys are valid people that listen to this podcast, you know what I'm talking about. How about that?
Oh God, there's so many things I wish I could say about that. He just talks too much. He talks so much. He talks too much. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying enough.
That's very true.
Okay. Oh, you don't understand. It's like burning on the inside. I really just want to say what I want to say.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Okay. All right.
Leave it alone.
LaBelle says, I can't get with one man to sleep with, let alone two. Listen, mother, I understand.
Listen, I'm telling you, there's an app for that. It's called 3 Fun. Get on there. You will find you more than one. 3 Fun. 3 Fun.
See, I just feel like that's just too much. I can't follow behind that after someone else. I be weird and wipe it off and all of that. Yeah, I understand that.
You can't follow behind what?
If you're having sex with somebody else, like if you're, they don't want to have to do.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Easy. We the people think you're lying and is an entire freak.
An unholy freak. That's what they call you, an unholy freak.
I'm very honest about my escapades, and I ain't got none. So I really look. I was a late bloomer. All right. So yeah, I know we were talking about that stage where
yes,
the 24-year-old just live your life. No, I skipped that whole era right there. It got skipped over.
Easy was more like 27. Live your life, and everybody has everything. Yeah,
I skipped that whole
Yes, I understand. And lastly, I've only had like 2 in my life, and the second was with a couple that was wonderful.
I've been asked, but I just don't.
So moving forward, don't ask Easy because he's gonna say no.
Yeah.
Next topic, a little loose versus way too tight. Writer says, I personally won't fuck up with a virgin. Oh, okay. So a little loose or versus way too tight, gentlemen?
I think this is a question for you.
I mean, I don't, okay. If I want to be, and I think I've said this on a podcast before, so it's not anything I haven't said before. Like I'm a thicker dude. I'm solid, and my member is solid. So it's not like it's hard for some people to accept if you don't have any experience at all. And so I'm gonna go with a little loose as opposed to way too tight. Yeah, I needed to be able to get in there because a little loose, like way too tight, is just hard to, get in. I'm gonna need you to practice, put a few fingers in there, do what you got to do to get it open.
Isn't that your job?
I mean, I can. But I mean, what are you doing in your spare time? Like, are you just locked up? You're after your Epsom salt bath. You're not stretching it out. You're not doing anything about it.
No.
Okay.
You know what? I'll tell you this. When I first started having sex with guys, there was a guy I used to always have sex with, and like he was like probably the only person I did have sex with because I think I met him on like Adam for Adam. I think that's what the app was at the time.
Ooh, tell your age.
And that wasn't even it wasn't even that back then. That was a website.
No, yeah, it wasn't even. It was a website. It was either that or BBC. It was one of those. But we used to have, we had sex like frequently, not like a lot, but we had sex when I couldn't do it because I lived with my mom's at the time. But I went to college and I came back, and he said to me, "What did he say? What was his words?" He said something about him being able to get in easier, and it freaked me out. So I'm like, oh my God, like, because I wasn't taught about gay sex at all. I didn't know about sex, period, but it freaked me out.
You thought you lost your grip?
Yeah, I thought it was a wrap for me. Like, I'm like, damn, my whole ass is over. Like,
I was sitting here trying to process. I'm like, where is he going with this?
So, and it was crazy because like the sex we had was aggressive sex. So I was like, did he do this? I didn't know who did it because I'm like, when I went to college, I didn't have sex with guys though, and I probably had sex with like maybe one or two other guys outside of him. After I went to college, I was freaking out, and so I felt like my ass was like a freeway at this point. So I stopped having sex for like a year after that.
You just thought you was wide open.
But I thought like if I go to the bathroom, I can't go to the bathroom because my shit gonna just fall on my ass at this point. Like I didn't know. I was freaking out. I didn't know. I wasn't educated though. I didn't know.
I mean, how many of us are?
But he was just saying like I wasn't tight, like like first time going in anymore. I was like, I wish you would have said that to me, explained that to me because I freaked out.
The Minority Report. A for A was the website, and then you go to MapQuest for the directions to get there.
Oh yes,
yes.
Well, how about I take the bus? How about I take the bus to his house? So I had to transfer all these things. It was a mess.
Oh no!
And did you have to ride the bus back?
No, he took me home after that.
Oh, I'm about to say you can't be riding on the city bus with a loose booty.
That was only the first time. After we met, like he used to pick me up and drop me off.
Oh my Lord, dude, you can hit a pothole and all.
But he had a really great sex. We had really great sex together. But it would just when he said that, it just freaked me out.
Yeah, that is. Oh,
I'm like, my asshole is ruined for the rest of my life.
The trials and errors of gay sex. The trials and errors. I'm sure that can be a whole episode in itself. All right, gentlemen. The last topic for the night. Sex sense. What gets your nose wide open? I feel like I just did a Strong J commercial. What gets your nose wide? I don't know. That's an interesting question. So I have been told that I do have like a man scent. Like I have a pheromone that people find attractive. Like when I have sex with them, I do hear that a lot. Or I have heard that a lot. Rather, is that there's whatever happens with my glands and how they mix together is a very interesting smell that people like. Yeah, I don't think anything that I smell turns me on. Anybody else? No? Okay.
I'm gonna say a little musk.
Now, this is gonna get into the conversation if there's a difference between musk and must. I already know where we're going, and
This is why I was hesitant.
I can hear Aaron. I can hear Aaron saying it now. There's a difference between musk and must.
I wasn't going to say that. I was never going to say that. I don't even know what the difference is, so I wouldn't say that. Okay. I don't know what the difference is. What is it? What is the difference? I don't even know. Is there a difference?
I think musk would be what I just described, your pheromones, etc., and must being the difference
like you stink.
like you stink or that you need to
like
have, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. So like the same thing as like a man coming from the gym that's probably taking a shower before they went, but it's like a sweaty smell.
Yeah,
I mean, is that the same?
Yeah.
What was that?
That probably. I probably like that smell.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a smell though that like this.
Wayne, I'm not doing this with you tonight. I'm not doing this with you tonight.
You don't know if you have a smell, Aaron?
That turns me on. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Maybe like a good cologne or something. I don't know. I know I love John Paul the Cartier. If you have that on, I mean, I'm on it. But other than that, like I don't like a natural smell. I don't really know.
What's his name?
I'm not gonna say it again. Everybody says it differently, and I'm not gonna have this argument tonight on this podcast. Okay. But I love the smell of that cologne. It smells great to me. It's like a sweet, manly smell. I love it. And if you have it on, I'm probably gonna be like, yeah.
So if you see So Debonair out, make sure you grab your Jean Paul Gaultier and spray it so that he can look at you sideways.
Ain't gonna be sideways, honey.
All right, so we'll just go to the comments and then we'll just see.
Funk.
Oh, wait a minute.
Got it.
Just flat out funk.
Just flat out
funk.
That's that on that.
Now is that the music? Like what the funk? What's going on here? Funk.
What's happening? I love shower and bath sets, soap, etc. I like to smell good stuff. Okay. Y'all keep that
Dwayne. I hate you, Dwayne. I hate you, Dwayne.
Let's see. LaBelle says there's a difference between musky and musty. Hygiene is always good. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What did she say? Musty means you stink. Wash your ass. And we'll have to ask the aunties their mantra about washing your ass when they come on the show.
Yes, come on.
The essence of sex. Yes, Stranger. The essence of sex. Sweat is sweat, not musk. Yes, okay. I understand.
So what is musk then?
So you said what's musty?
She said sweat is sweat, not musk. So what is musk?
Musk is your natural man scent, though.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I'll give you an example. So like, if you're hairy, then hair holds odor, and not necessarily the hair under your arms, but maybe the hair in between your legs, in the gooch area.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you.
Go ahead, take yourself a nice little shower.
I got you.
Once you dry yourself off, put your hand down there.
Teach, yes. Put your hand down.
I never knew that's what that was called. I never knew this was called. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Or if
I learned something today.
Or if you about to get it on with somebody and they just step out of the shower, go ahead and put your face down there real quick.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be on your upper lip until tomorrow.
But if you get the shower, that's not like that's still musk.
Say it again.
If you get out the shower, that's still musk.
That's a natural scent. That's what there's musk and then there's musk, and there's a difference. Like you gotta okay. Musk and musty. That means you haven't showered.
I know what musty is, but musk was like I was kind of confused what that is. I've heard the word, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we have
thinking about it, my bad. All right, continue.
Come back, E.
I'm back. The funk,
and the funk, the whole funk, and nothing but the funk.
The funk.
That's a song.
It's the man scent for me, not the must. I myself have a smell for soap and colognes. Indeed. Musk is a natural scent and odor you give off at any given time. Must is the odor you give off when you aren't fresh.
Boom.
Baby,
Oh, everybody got it. Everybody got definition of musk and musk.
Yes. Thin
But
line
they're all aligned. They're all aligned.
right. It's a thin line between musk and musk. Yes. Yes, it is. I use spray deodorants down there. I'm trying to smell like summer's eve, bitch.
You know,
Yeah.
I use that oil. What is it?
Oh.
No, I use the oil, the cocoa butter oil between my legs and stuff like that. So maybe that's my smell. I don't know.
If you, I would say if you like, Easy made a good point. When you get out of the shower, you know, after you dry out, put your hand on there and smell. But then if you're hairy,
It don't smell like
and
nothing though.
But if you're hairy and you shave, and you know down there, and still after you get out of the shower, put your hand on there and smell. That's an easier way to smell it as well. It just depends. And if it doesn't smell like nothing, then you don't have. You know,
I would suggest you try doing it more often. Because if you do it, like say you do it in the morning and you don't smell anything, it may be because you've never done it before. You may not know what you're actually smelling. So continuously try it out and do it and see what happens. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Somebody saying.
So mine has a good comment as well. This is why most men, especially those of us who are hairier down there, need to use an antibacterial soap and then a scented shower gel, clean and deodorize. It's a very good point. Very, very good point. So there's the lesson on your scents for tonight.
I learned a lot tonight.
You did. Let us know how it goes for you if you try it at home. He says that he used to use unscented roll-on deodorant on the boys and never had that problem. LaBelle says, I have a t-shirt that still smells of a person that is heaven.
Yes.
I was with 5 years ago. Yes.
It still smell like him 5 years from now?
You know, no, it's weird. I will definitely testify to that because I have a jacket and it still smells like him and it's been washed and everything. But there's this scent on the jacket that just has never like.
Okay.
All right. All right, gentlemen.
I need to find me a man with some musk in my room so when I have my personal time, I can smell that.
See. Just make sure you get the right kind.
I don't want no must.
Now you stepping into underwear fetishes and shit.
Right.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. I've sent my underwears at people before.
See how it all loops back around? I got you.
He has. He certainly has. And we've talked about it on the podcast before.
Yes. Actually, I just sent him some of my new ones last week.
See, so explain to the newbies what this person does so that they understand what you're talking about.
He asked me this. I send him like underwears once a month that I've been wearing for like 2 days, and he just loves the smell of them, and that's what it is. He pays me good money for them. And if you
if you would like to send,
I remember I used to be a manager at a shoe store, and I remember one of my sales associates. She was a female, but this dude came in there, and he paid her $200 to go into the dressing room and take off her drawers and give it to him.
That's how much that guy pays me monthly.
Yeah,
$200.
How many underwear do you send him a month?
One. He buys the underwears, I wear them, and then I send them to him.
Come on, monthly subscription?
Yep. OnlyFans, bitch.
Fuck a Hello Fresh box. You got monthly subscriptions where people are sending you draws.
So you must have a man saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you need to start checking. I mean, just check yourself so you can.
But I mean, when I get out the shower, I don't smell like anything. But I understand what the smell smells like. If I don't like for a day, what it smells like. It's like a stinky smell. It's like I guess a musk smell. I guess I don't know. I never knew what the name of it was, so I don't know.
Well,
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You sound sometimes.
That's that on that. Just check.
I mean, I will swipe it if I get the shower to make sure I don't stink. So if I smell anything, I'm gonna get back in the shower.
Yeah, you ain't doing it right. You ain't doing it right. We'll talk about it on camera.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I love those conversations.
Now he excited. He excited now.
all right, guys. I think that is that on that tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, Debonair, you want to close us out?
Absolutely. We do finally have the real website now. It's althpodcast.com. I meant to text you that earlier today, but it's althpodcast.com.
Let's edit that.
Yes, althpodcast.com. Make sure you guys, if you're on Facebook, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's very important. We need you to subscribe to notifications, like the video, and keep commenting. Please share the videos. That means a lot to all of us because it builds the whole podcast. If you're on Facebook, share it and also leave us a review because that also helps us as well. If you guys have Dear Affairs of the Heart question, go to althpodcast.com. There is a section at the top that says leave us a question and you can actually send us something in. We actually got 3 this week. And I wanted to do one today that was really good. I was like, we need a lighter one today. But next week is going to be a doozy, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's a mess. So if you guys have Dear Heart questions, please go to the website and send it. When I tell y'all next week it's going to be a mess, it's going to be a mess.
If it's anything like last week, child, Jesus help us.
This one, the one I'm about to send to you for next week is worse than last week's. And I'm just being honest. I normally don't read them, but there was so many and I had to choose one to give you. So I was like, we need a light one because we've been done heavy stuff every week. So I was like, let me send a light one this week. But this one is coming next week. Make sure you guys tune in next week. It's a mess. I'm gonna send it to you like on Monday so you can see it, Dwayne, because I do everything else. But when I read it, I'm like, bitch, how are we supposed to even answer this? It's a mess. Okay. So if you guys have Affairs and Heart questions, please go onto the website, althpodcast.com. It says, ask us a question and send us a Dear Affairs and Heart podcast question. We'll definitely hash it out. We'll give you the best advice that we can give you guys. Or if we don't have that, we'll let you know we don't have that. Make sure you follow us on all social media, ALTH Podcast on Twitter, The Affairs of the Heart on Instagram, and it's Affairs of the Heart on Facebook. All of our personal stuff is down in the YouTube channel. Me, Dwayne, and Easy Stuff. We didn't even talk about Easy Stuff, but are we talking about that? Don't they take that off of there?
We'll save it for another day.
Okay. Well, all of our personal stuff, you can find it in the YouTube channel and in the description. And that's it.
All right, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, as So Debonair said. Hit the notifications so you know when we are here on Thursday nights. I have been going live on Twitter too. So hello to our Twitter family. And just make sure you join us every Thursday night, same time, same place, 8 p.m. for the Affairs of Heart podcast. I think that's it. That's it. Y'all got anything else? We out of here. Good night, guys. Be safe.